Matthew Kennedy and Adam Brooks, the filmmakers and actors as well, in The Editor. How does it feel to have The Editor here at TIFF, the only Canadian film in Midnight Madness?
It feels fantastic. This is our first time at TIFF, and to be guests of TIFF is a real dream come true.
Yeah, we've always aspired to premiere anywhere at this level of festival. So to premiere here at TIFF, Canadian, one of the biggest festivals in the world, it's amazing. A great honor.
I can tell you that as soon as they announce you're in TIFF, you get a lot more emails every hour.
Like, oh, I have so many friends.
Yeah, so many people are interested in me somehow for some reason.
What was it like for you doing your own stunts on set?
It was a necessity. It was something we did out of necessity. We wear many hats on this production, and some of them are more fun than others. It was nerve-wracking doing our own stunts. We did our own driving stunts, our own general. I guess, though, it was really our friend who we set on fire who we should be talking about here.
I think it maybe was a little lighter for us this time. Adam did harder stunts on our last film. He jumped from one car to another, moving cars. He fell off of a moving truck and permanently damaged his hip. And he lit himself on fire for this movie.
So did
when
you.
When it was in the demo stage of the film. He did a full body burn. But you mean just testing the fire?
No, I mean in the movie.
Oh yeah, I did light my arm on fire.
Forgot about that.
But I did test the nude burn gel on myself as well. But then our actress did it on her whole body, so I guess she deserves more credit.
Yeah, really just be talking about Jen Kowalczyk, and thank you for being a hero, and rest in peace.
And the film is this very specific Italian style called giallo. I think I'm saying that right. Can you speak a little bit to the very interesting cadences that you had in your speech and how you worked on that and developed it? Because it was, across the board done very well.
Well, those Italian movies were all shot MOS without any sound, no sync sound. Even those spaghetti westerns with Clint Eastwood had no sound rolling. And so the crews, they wouldn't even be quiet on set. They would just talk, and Clint Eastwood says they would play Frisbee, and they'd be smoking, while he'd be doing his dialogue just on the other side of camera.
Good actor.
Yeah, good actor.
Yeah.
But all these movies, the spaghetti westerns and all these giallo films, were made for the American market, for the world market, really. But that means in English. But they were made by Italians. They were written in Italian, translated into English, performed mostly by Italians, some of whom spoke English, some of whom didn't speak a word of English. But then those films would be later dubbed by English-speaking actors. And what that created was a very bizarre cadence. And that's what you're talking about when you say the bizarre cadence in those movies. And we wrote specifically to that. Matt can do a great impression of that sort of dialogue.
Did you do a lot of rehearsals beforehand?
Not really rehearsals, but we would just, as the idea was developing, we would do a lot of improvising. And while we were sitting around writing the script, we would invent lines. And when we first started shooting the movie, when it was just a trailer, and we were developing a trailer/demo reel, a lot of the dialogue was improvised at that time. And I would just keep feeding lines to Adam when we were shooting some of his early editing scenes, and a lot of those lines ended up being in the final movie, and sometimes ended up even being a part of the plot.
Give her some of them.
This is so much pressure.
Sorry, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. And tell me a little bit about the saturated color scheme as well, because the art direction was awesome, and not only did you have so many incredible props, but the color scheme looked terrific.
Well, that's really Dario Argento's contribution to the giallo genre. I mean, there were a lot of colorful. Mario Bava did a lot of colorful stuff, but Dario Argento really turned it up and made everything very fluorescent, neon colored, and unmotivated. Always unmotivated. We were just talking about this today, about how in Suspiria, it's like this girls' boarding dance school, and they all sleep in this big room that's bright red, lights that are just bright red for no reason, but it immediately creates a mood. And his movie Inferno, everything's blue and pink for no reason, but it creates an instant mood, an instant atmosphere, just like the music of these movies creates an instant, intense atmosphere. And so our movie, we were really trying to marry the styles of Lucio Fulci and Dario Argento and make them one. Do you think I covered it?
I think he covered it, yeah. I mean, lots of people say that Lucio Fulci is like the poor man's Dario Argento, but we have a lot of respect for Lucio Fulci's work as well, because he kind of turns up, I guess, the camp a little bit, and like it seems like Lucio Fulci's having a little more fun with his filmmaking, where Argento's is more serious art piece, and we enjoy that, and we lent a lot of that sensibility to this and turned it right up.
I just want to disagree a little bit on record so that no one emails me or anything. But I think Lucio Fulci makes some great art pieces. I think The Beyond is very straight up dream logic art piece. And
you've never heard that? That's like a thing people say all the time on the internet. I'm just quoting what I've read on the internet, and you heard me say that I like Lucio Fulci a lot. They're equal in my books.
okay.
And tell me a little bit about working with Udo Kier and about a gift that he gave you.
Udo Kier is one of the best people I've ever met in my life. We were both afraid of him because he's an intimidating man. It's funny, that's a line he says in the movie. But he's been in over 215 films. He's worked with, Michael Bay, Lars von Trier, Andy Warhol, Fassbinder. He's worked with everybody. Anyone you can think of, I'm sure he's worked with.
And you guys?
And us, Astron 6 now, which is ridiculous. But we didn't think we could get him. We got him because he only picks roles that he's interested in now, roles that are odd, unique, weird, different, things he hasn't done before. He certainly doesn't need to prove himself to anyone, and he certainly doesn't need to take a role for money. So that's lucky for us because we have very little to offer except for... Anyway, the biggest mistake we made was not giving him a bigger role. He should have played Ray, the editor. He was a very kind, generous, easy to work with guy. And yes, on the second day of shooting, he came in and he gave me a chrome knife wrapped in a little...
napkin.
Yeah, sorry.
Like a handkerchief
Like
that
a
he'd
little-
taken.
Yeah, a little serviette.
Were you like nervous, or were you just really excited that you got a gift from him?
I wasn't nervous when he gave me a gift. By then, I'd already kind of fell in love with the man. But when we first met him, he showed up a couple days early, and he wanted to meet us while we were shooting another scene late at night in a back alley. And we were just told this minutes before it happened, Udo Kier's on his way, and he wants to meet you guys tonight. And we were terrified because he's a very intimidating man. He's got piercing blue eyes. He can look right through you. And his German accent can be scary. He is very much in control, though, of his own intensity. And once you meet him, he's instantly a teddy bear and not scary. But then when you're shooting with him and he needs to be scary...
You can turn it on in an instant and become the Udo Kier we all see in movies.
Yeah.
The scary one.
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about this amazing looking poster / it's a piece of artwork.
Absolutely. This was done by Graham Humphreys, a UK-based artist who's been around for about 30 years. He did, most famously, the Return of the Living Dead poster with the punk zombies on it. He did all the UK Nightmare on Elm Street art, the Evil Dead posters. He's really done hundreds and hundreds of very famous, iconic pieces. He's a legend in the industry, and he happens to be one of the kindest, most generous people we've ever met. And he did this poster, but he also did 4 posters for movies inside the movie that we used as set deck. So you get to see some of the posters that Ray's working on within the film, and Graham Humphreys did all of those. And I think they're fantastic. I'm a bit of a poster geek.
So how did it go down? Did you just call him up and say, hey, will you do this for us?
Yeah, basically, Adam reaches out to all these artists. Adam is an artist himself. He's a painter, and he is the one that reaches out to all the people that he likes, like Akiko Sternberger, Is it Sternberg or Sternberger?
Sternberger.
Okay. I didn't know if I was adding too many bergs. But yeah, you just contact them. You can answer better than I on Facebook, email.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty accessible. Pretty much everyone has a website nowadays, and you just go to the contact section. But we've made some great relationships with these people. They're very, I mean, they understand what it's like to be an artist, and if you just appeal to their artistic side and you explain your vision and your passion, that's the way. That's the only way we can get them, because it certainly isn't with our big bucks. But Akiko is also working on a follow-up poster to this one. This will be our main poster, but we're going to have a few more because we love them. We're going to have a Gary Poulin and Akiko Sternberger. If we had enough money, I mean, we'd go on forever. We love this stuff.
And where's the best place for us to find out more information on the editor and your other projects as well online?
You can check it out on astron-6.com, or you can go to theeditormovie.com, or just search astron-6 on Google, and you'll find Twitter, Facebook, and everything else.
Well, thanks so much, guys, and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Katie Chats.
Thanks.
Thanks, Katie Chats.
Yay.
Bye.
I'm Katie Uhlmann reporting for Katie Chats in downtown Toronto.